Well, this is a novel approach. I mean, it's frontier medicine, the concepts behind the therapy and its application from other areas. I think initially the company is looking to treat patients who really have failed all other therapies. Makes it a really exciting concept that someone's taking on this group of patients.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for another Virtual Investor KOL Connect segment. Today, we are featuring Palisade Bio. My name is Janine Thomas. I am CEO of JTCIR, and I will be the moderator for today's segment. Today, we are talking about fibrostenotic Crohn's disease, and I am very pleased to be joined by Dr. Brian Feagan. He's a gastroenterologist at London Health Sciences Center and the Senior Scientific Director at Alimentiv Inc., and he specializes in the care of patients with inflammatory bowel diseases and is recognized as a leading expert in the field. Dr. Feagan, we are so happy to have you. Thanks for joining.
Well, it's great to be here, Janine. Pleasure.
Before we get started, I just want to remind our audience that Palisade Bio is publicly listed on NASDAQ and trades under the ticker PALI. And during today's discussion, the company will be making forward-looking statements, and I encourage everyone to view the company's latest SEC filings on their website at palisadebio.com for the latest information. So, Dr. Feagan, we're so grateful to have you and for your time today. Can you start by providing a bit of your background for our audience?
Yes, I'm a gastroenterologist whose primary interest is therapeutics in inflammatory bowel disease. I've been active in the field for about 35 years. I'm trained in clinical epidemiology, and my major research interest is clinical trials, design, interpretation, and implementation of trials in ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. I have considerable experience with the regulatory authority interactions, and I've taken a recent interest in the last 8 years in fibrostenotic and Crohn's disease.
Excellent. So, can you discuss fibrostenotic Crohn's disease and the current patient journey?
Yes, well, this is one of the frontier areas of IBD therapeutics. We have not, as with other fields of medicine, had effective antifibrotic therapies. And fibrosis is a hallmark of Crohn's disease pathophysiology. And Crohn's disease, unlike ulcerative colitis, is a full thickness disease. It involves all layers of the bowel wall. And fibrosis, laying down of scar tissue, really causes a lot of trouble ultimately for the patient. And it really results in thickening of the bowel wall, which then results in impingement of the lumen of the bowel, uh, where the bowel contents flow through, such that pressure builds up, and ultimately the bowel can obstruct, block off, or this can contribute to fistula formation, which is really one of the dreaded complications of Crohn's disease, where essentially a channel is formed from the bowel contents across the wall of the bowel into the tissues surrounding it. And ultimately, this involves drainage around the perianal area, which really, as you can imagine, causes a lot of discomfort and trouble for patients. So it's really one of the hallmarks of the disease. We haven't had specific therapy, and I'm excited to say that this is an area where we're making some progress. In the past 7 or 8 years, we've designed trials specifically to look at therapy for this in distinction to treatment of anti-inflammatory drugs, and it's an exciting area.
Speaking of the therapies, Dr. Feagan, what are the challenges associated with the currently approved therapies?
Well, the biggest issue, Janine, is that they're not very good. That on the right day with the right drug and the right patient, we're lucky if we get 50% of patients into remission. And in Crohn's disease, we have a notion from animal studies and from other human diseases that treatment of inflammation per se isn't enough, that you can have adequate control of inflammation, but the fibrotic process continues independently. So the concept of marrying anti-inflammatory therapy with specific antifibrotic therapy is attractive as a way of getting beyond our current state of affairs.
Appreciate that insight. So, what are your thoughts on Palisade Bio's PALI 2108, the data that has been seen to date, and how it could potentially fit into the overall treatment landscape?
Well, this is a novel approach. I mean, it's frontier medicine, the concepts behind the therapy and its application from other areas. I think initially the company is looking to treat patients who really have failed all other therapies and with Crohn's disease and are at tremendous liability. Um, the resources required to treat them with conventional therapies, the need for surgery, their poor prognosis, and just poor general health makes it a really exciting concept that someone's taking on this group of patients.
Dr. Feagan, appreciate your time and your expertise and for joining us for this segment. And for our audience, this does conclude our Virtual Investor KOL segment featuring Palisade Bio. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to Dr. Feagan for joining us today. And I'd also like to thank our audience for your interest in our KOL Connect series. As a reminder, Palisade Bio trades on NASDAQ under the ticker PALI. And if you like what you saw today, I encourage you to visit palisadebio.com for more information on the company and to sign up to follow the company to receive their alerts, as well as to follow their social channels to stay current on the latest information. And you can also visit virtualinvestorco.com for a replay of today's segment, as well as our latest segments and events calendar. Dr. Feagan, thank you again, and I wish everyone a great rest of your day.